Imagine this. You wake up, check your account. And there it is, more money than usual. No call. No letter. No explanation. Just the number sitting there. Like it was always meant to be yours. But here's the twist. Not everyone is getting it. And no one is talking about why. This isn't a glitch. This is real. And it might just be the beginning of something massive. SSI and SSDI benefits are shifting. Quietly. Strategically. And fast. New rules are already rolling out. New payment amounts are landing in accounts. In deadlines. They're closer than you think. Stay with me till the end. Because what's happening right now could change your finances for the rest of the year. And if you miss even one piece of this, you could lose hundreds, maybe more. So what exactly is going on? Since early June, a new structure for benefit calculations has been implemented. Some recipients are seeing $200 plus more. Others nothing. Some even got less. Confused? You should be. Because this was never officially announced. No press conference. No statement. No warning. Just action. Quiet and deep. Sources inside Social Security suggest this is phase one of a larger shift. They're testing a formula. One based on cost of living, location, income audits, and case history. But here's the problem. The formula is not transparent. And it's not treating everyone equally. Some zip codes are prioritized. Some age groups are flagged. Some past reviews are being quietly reevaluated by automated systems that don't explain themselves. This is where things get risky. You might be overpaid this month. Not because you earned more. Not because of a bonus. But because of a silent recalculation behind the scenes. These new adjustments aren't always announced. They just appear. A few extra dollars. Or in some cases, over $200 added to your usual amount. It feels like a blessing. But here's the danger. That increase might not be permanent. Because next month, the system might do what it calls a correction. A cold, automatic recalculation. Based on data you were never shown. And decisions you were never involved in. That means you could get less next month. Even if your situation hasn't changed. And here's the most serious part. If Congress doesn't approve permanent funding for these changes, the Social Security Administration could classify the extra money as an overpayment. In plain words, you might be asked to pay that money back. Yes, even if you already spent it. Even if you needed it for medicine, rent, or food. Even if no one told you it was temporary. Imagine this. You get an unexpected boost. An extra $200 in your account this month. You feel relief. You cover overdue bills. You finally buy groceries without checking your balance twice. And just when you start to feel a little secure, boom, your next check arrives. And it's short. Maybe by $50. Maybe by $300. You call the SSA office. They tell you the system adjusted. They say it was an error correction. And worst of all, they tell you now owe that money back. And they might not ask politely. They could reduce future checks. Or even send you a debt notice in the mail. And you'd be left asking, how is this fair? To protect yourself from this nightmare, you need to take control now. So here's what you must do. Step 1. Go directly to ssa.gov. Don't wait for a letter in the mail. They're slow, and sometimes they never come. Log in to your online account. If you don't have one, create it. Look for your payment history. Not just the amount, but the reason codes next to each payment. Some codes will show COLA adjustment. Others might say retroactive correction. Or supplemental payment. Read those lines carefully. They matter more than you think. Then, check your messages. Sometimes the Social Security system leaves you digital notices that never make it to paper mail. These might explain changes or hint at future reductions. Finally, go to the section labeled Benefit Adjustments. This is where you'll see if your amount was altered due to a change in federal policy, cost of living, or internal audit. This step alone can give you weeks of advance notice before your check is reduced. Because once that money is gone, getting it back is almost impossible. This is not the time to stay passive. This is the time to take the system seriously. And in the next steps of this video, I'll show you how to report suspicious changes, how to talk to a real agent without waiting on hold for hours, and what to say to make sure they can't ignore your case. But remember, this entire structure is shifting under your feet. And what you do right now could determine what's left in your account next month. So stay with me, because what's coming next is even more urgent. Step 2. Don't touch that extra money. Not yet. Put it aside, in a savings account, or somewhere safe, until this is confirmed. Step 3. Call your local SSA office. Ask clearly, am I included in the updated disbursement group? They are required to give you this answer, if you formally request it. But don't stop there. Step 4. Spread this message, because many are still in the dark. And silence is what allows systems like this to stay hidden. This is not just about this month's check. This is about the future of your benefits. A confidential report just surfaced last week. It reveals a timeline, code-named Phase 2, July 15, August 8, and September 3. On these dates, more payment changes may go live, but only in regions that show minimal resistance. Meaning, if no one asks questions, they'll roll it out quietly, nationwide. But if the public pushes back, they might cancel it all. So the government is watching. They're tracking social media, calls to SSA offices, even search volume. Yes, your awareness is part of their test. Which means, your silence could mean reversal. Your action could lock the change in. And it goes deeper. Budget documents for 2025. Label this increase as discretionary. That's a red flag. It means the money is there, but not guaranteed. And if they can't back it up by Q4, you know what comes next. Clawbacks, adjustments, reduced checks, recalculations of eligibility. You may have to pay back benefits you thought were permanent. Now think of how many people live paycheck to paycheck, where $200 is the difference between food or medicine, between rent or eviction, between survival or struggle. This payment change isn't just money. It's power. And right now, you have the choice to take that power seriously. So ask yourself this, and ask it honestly. Are you truly prepared for what's coming? Do you know your exact monthly benefit amount to the dollar? Not just a guess. Not just what you think you've been getting, but the precise figure that was deposited last month, and how it compares to this month. Have you cross-checked your payment history? Did the increase show up? Was it a one-time change? Or have there been fluctuations over the past few months that you didn't notice? You'd be surprised how many people never check. They trust the system to just work. But this system is changing. Fast, quietly, and with consequences. Have you confirmed whether the increase you received is real, meaning officially approved, permanent, meaning it will stay every month, or conditional, meaning it could disappear without warning? Because if it's conditional, you might be spending money you'll be asked to return. And if it's not confirmed, you're standing on financial quicksand. And here's the bigger question. Have you warned someone else about this? Think beyond yourself for a moment. Maybe it's your mom, living on a fixed income, watching prices rise, counting every dollar. Maybe it's your uncle, retired early due to health issues, depending on SSD or SSI to survive. Maybe it's your neighbor, a quiet man in his 70s, never asks for help, but always pays rent a day late. Or maybe it's someone who never talks about it, a disabled friend, trying to make ends meet, while pretending everything's fine. They might not know what you know. They might not have seen the news. They might not understand the risks behind an unexpected increase. They might have already spent that extra money on groceries, on a medical bill, or just to catch up on rent. But what if that increase wasn't official? What if the system claws it back next month? What if their next check is slashed with no warning, no explanation, and no way to fix it? How would they survive that? And what if they blame themselves? This isn't just about dollars. It's about dignity, security, and the trust we place in a system that isn't always honest with us. That's why your awareness matters. That's why your voice matters. A single conversation, a quick phone call, a forwarded message, a simple "Hey, did you hear about this?" could save someone from losing everything. Don't assume they already know. Don't assume someone else told them. Because silence is exactly what this system depends on. They make quiet changes, counting on quiet people to stay quiet. But now you're not one of them. You've seen the signs. You've heard the warning. And you have a choice. Stay silent and let the confusion spread. Or speak up and be the reason someone else is protected. The question is, which one will you be? Your one message could save someone's entire month. You might think it's just information, but for someone else, it's rent, groceries, or life-saving medication. That one share could be the reason a struggling senior checks their payment. A disabled veteran might finally understand why their check changed. A widowed mother could avoid a financial trap. Information is power, but only when it's passed on. Most people won't hear about this on the news. It won't trend. It won't alert your phone. But your action today, sending this video, posting it, talking about it, could ripple out further than you imagine. And now the moment we warned you about. The quiet secret buried deep in the system. There's an internal document circulating inside the Social Security Administration. Not in the public portal. Not in any official update. This document lists a very specific date. July 15. What happens on that day? It's called a decision point. Not a payment date. Not a press release. A point where someone at the top decides, do we move forward or shut this down? Here's the catch: this decision depends on silence. If the public doesn't notice the $200 increase, if they don't question it, complain, or demand answers, the government will interpret that as approval. They'll say, great, it worked. Roll out phase 2. But if there's noise, if people start sharing, asking, investigating, they'll say, oh, that was just a test. Never mind. Cancel it. See what's happening? This is a strategy, not generosity. This isn't just about what the government gives us. It's about what they take when we aren't watching. Quiet increases, quiet reversals, quiet take-backs. And if they reverse it, no one will tell you why. There will be no apology. No refund. Your extra $200 will vanish. Like it was never there. But now that you know, now that you're aware, you're holding something most people don't have. The truth, ahead of time. You can choose to act. You can choose to protect not just yourself, but others who don't even know they're at risk. Don't let this moment pass in silence. Don't wait for the media to wake up. You're already ahead. Stay there. July 15 is coming. And what happens that day might depend on what you do today. But now, you're looking. And that makes all the difference. Because most people never do. They go about their day. Routine, predictable, unaware. But you paused. You chose to watch, to listen, to question. And in today's world, that's rare and powerful. You're no longer in the dark. You're informed. You now know what's changing, what's at stake, and what could happen if nothing is done. And more than that, you're alert. Your eyes are open to the quiet shifts happening under the surface. No news anchor told you. No official letter warned you. But you saw it anyway. And that puts you in a position most people never reach. You're ready. Ready to respond. Ready to protect what's yours. Ready to guide others who still don't know. So now comes the real question. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you simply scroll away? Let the moment pass. Tell yourself, someone else will deal with it? Will you close this video, like so many others have, and just forget what you saw? Or, will you take one small action? Because sometimes, that's all it takes. One call to your SSA office. One message to a friend. One share to someone who needs it. A single step can change the course of someone's month, or even their year. Maybe it's your sister wondering why her check came up short. Maybe it's your neighbor who never checks their balance. Or your father too proud to ask for help. Your words could be their wake-up call. Your silence? That's what the system hopes for. They count on you being too busy, too tired, too unsure to act. But you proved them wrong. You stayed till the end. You understood what's at stake. This isn't just about one check. It's about awareness and taking control of what's yours. Because this system works best in silence. But now, you're watching. So will you walk away? Or take that one small step that might change someone's life forever? The choice is yours. And sometimes, that's the only power we really need. Because this isn't just a breakdown of benefits. It's a breakdown of trust. And the only way to fix it is together.